Hello and welcome to Three Mountain Games. I'm Jason Schulte,
Jason Bowen.
and we're going to crack open the brand new Star Wars Shatterpoint box.
Pretty exciting to get this early.
It's a big box. It contains 16 miniatures, 23 terrain pieces, 2 movement tools, 5 range tools, 14 order cards, 12 unit stat cards, 12 stance cards, 1 mission card, 9 struggle cards, 14 dice, 1 struggle token, 16 momentum tokens, 1 struggle tracker, 1 punch board, and 1 core rulebook.
Everything you need to get 2 players going in the game right away.
It's a skirmish miniatures game. I did take the cellophane off, but it has not been opened, so this will be a true unboxing. Neither of us have seen the components, so would you like to have the honors of cracking this open?
Sure. Get this big boy going here. Alright. Do the hell with it. There we go. That's beautiful. Alright. So, something they're doing with this game is they actually are giving you a little thing to set up so you can take pictures of your miniatures with
Cool.
backgrounds. So you've got a few different backgrounds to actually take really nice photos of your miniatures that you put together and you paint with this game, which is, I think it's a pretty neat idea. Just, a piece of cardboard with the box that you can fold it up, and then you want to show off that new guy that you just painted up, and you can sit it down here and.
That's pretty cool. It even has instructions on the back on how you're supposed to do that. So it does show it setting up against, it looks like the main box.
Oh yeah.
As your background. So that's 2. You have the Shatterpoint, and then you have a scene, and it looks like you have the back side of this is also a scene. So you have 2 different scenes.
This is where the fun begins, as Anakin says.
Yeah.
The punch boards.
Big sheet of tokens. It looks like it's just 1 sheet of tokens. So you'll get your fair share of tokens and counters. And
Everything
like
you need
some
to
damage. It looks like some life counters.
I know one of them has got to do with force power. Force power is something that you get for, it's kind of like a currency for spending to do abilities. So I don't know which one of those there, but that's what the core rulebook says for.
And it looks like they are double-sided, so one side means something, and then you have this side, which has some other symbols on them. This one on the other side is a light, this is dark. So looks like this is life, this looks like explosion. So it looks like there's some multi-uses to these tokens.
Oh yeah.
Then we have the rulebook, which is pretty nice. It has a contents list, and goes right into game overview. Parts and unit stat cards. Looks like turn order stuff is getting into here.
And they've got the whole rulebook posted online already, so if you wanted to read the rules online and kind of know what you're getting into already with this, you can already do that at atomicmassgames.com.
And then it has game setup. It shows you how to get the battlefield ready. Talks about game mechanics. Movement. Looks like it's going to have a movement ruler, much like Marvel Crisis and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Legion. Looks like it's got some 90-degree, probably for angle of vision.
That's the movement tool. Oh. You can bend it. It's very similar to the Marvel Crisis Protocol ones. The measurement tools are the same distance as the MCP rulers.
It's got dice that look very similar as well.
Yeah, there's offense and defensive dice, so they're different dice that you roll for one or the other on this game.
Talks about making attack. I always like making attack when it's not like huge amounts of information. It's just a page. Looks like line of sight, hunker token. Then it has appendix for timing, making attack. So pretty much the bulk of everything you're going to need is on these 2 pages.
The stuff that you're always going to go to when you're doing your first games, the quick reference and the timing charts to know how things operate.
So it looks like on the back is the quick reference, and it has turn sequence, resolve effects, reveal an order card, activate unit, the unit's activation ends, resolve effects, move the struggle token, and then check if the unit has just activated is defeated. The active player turn is now over. And then
lots of back and forth.
Yeah.
And
then it says attack sequence is declare an attack type, ranged or melee, check for eligible targets, form initial dice pools, roll with initial dice, modify the dice rolls, determine the results, apply all damage, resolve all attack effects. So that sounds also very much like
similar to MCP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have strike, critical, attack expertise, block, defense expertise, and failure on the dice. So, and then a whole bunch of icons that mean a bunch of things.
Well, there's a lot of tokens on that board, so there's a lot of things to figure out with that. But it looks like they lay it out pretty simply for you.
Looks like about a 40-page rule book.
Pretty solid. This is where the real stuff. There we go. It's just a random board, but
It separates the
yeah,
miniature stuff.
yeah. Now you get into the miniatures with as much of the lots of terrain. You can see the bases in there already. There's lots of characters to build, lots of terrain to build with this.
Bases do come with some already terrain type effects on them. Some companies like to charge you extra for that, so it's nice to see that they're, and it looks like 2 different base types, sizes.
Well, the battle droids go onto a bigger base, so.
And then this is the 23 pieces of terrain they mention on the back.
Yeah.
So there's quite a few sprues of those.
A lot.
That'll
Well,
be,
there's lots of upper and lower terrain with this game. This game wants you to always try to fight to get the high ground and get to the good spots.
looks like you're going to be fighting kind of in a base maybe, or around a base.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, there's a lot of terrain.
these are a huge stack of terrain. And surprisingly, they're putting a lot of little small detailed pieces to these terrain. It's not just a big bulky piece of thing that you quickly slap together. This is going to take a little bit of time and some construction
Oh yeah.
to build this.
And look at that. You're gonna have a whole pile of galactic blocks there.
Yeah, it does look like those snap together. The final terrain piece is some bigger blocks. Looks like some vents.
A little building,
Yeah, part of a building.
but that's not it. That's just terrain so far.
Yeah, we've just hit the terrain and the bases. This is like level 3 of this box.
Yeah. It keeps going. Keeps going and
boy.
going and going. And oh yeah.
So we finished talking about terrain. So there's another whole bag of terrain. I'm not going to get it all out because
It's a lot of terrain.
it's a lot of pieces of terrain. Looks like we'll be building terrain for a while.
Yeah. And then there's the fun. The characters.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Go ahead and pop them out.
That's fun to me. Oh, look at that. That's another building of terrain.
Yeah.
You're going to have a whole diorama set up here. Look at this. More.
And they're cool. There's chip marks in them. There's wires. So you'll have to do some painting just there.
Look at all that.
Wow. So I thought maybe they would be some easy snap together pieces,
Oh
but
no. This is fully build, and glue, similar to like what I've been building with the Marvel Crisis Protocol.
these are the lightsabers. Here's
Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul. I forgot that name twice today.
Yeah.
Darth Maul double bladed there. Looks like I would definitely encourage using cutters to get these off. You're going to break those lightsabers. They're pretty tiny. And I think they'd be really hard to glue back together if you did break them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks...
Over on this one, you see several backpacks. You got several different Mandalorian characters, not the Mandalorian, but Mandalorians. You've got Bo-Katan and Gar Saxon and some other Mandalorians in here. So you see the sweet little jetpacks they've got in here. Those are pretty cool. Some characters you can even look in the build things online, and some of them you can build them with either their face or their helmet. So you can choose, how you want them to build and what you want them to look like, somewhat.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So
it adds a little variety. It does look like they're all numbered as well. So you have like B7, 4, 3, 9. So I'm guessing those components will be called for in instructions.
Yeah, you can see kind of how they have them laid out in little sections together.
Yeah,
they're pretty good about doing that. And yeah, all the whole directions for how to build all of this is already online, right where they have the manual.
So then the game components are still in here. We have the dice. So those are looks like D8s and D6s. D8s are attack.
I believe so.
And then I think the D6s are probably defense, maybe?
Should be.
We'll have to read the rule book. There's some little black cubes and a clear cube and a nice little board that I suspect that they go in.
Yeah, well, this is your scoreboard. The game is a struggle back and forth of points here. I don't know exactly the scoring yet, but this is the main scoreboard.
It's cardboard, thick cardboard.
Yeah, real nice though.
And then you have the packet of cards.
Oh yeah. So the character cards. There's all the different ways to set up the directions. Got Ahsoka Tano, Jedi No More, Bo-Katan Kryze, Clan Kryze Mandalorians, General Anakin Skywalker, Captain Rex, the 501st Clone Troopers. Over to the dark side, we've got Lord Maul, Gar Saxon, Mandalorian Super Commandos, Asajj Ventress, Kalani, and the Clankers, the B1 battle droids.
We got on the back side, so the back side shows you
some of their stats and just some art and whatnot.
and it says supporting unit on that one. This one says secondary unit. This one says primary unit.
So building your team, you build with those 3 different unit types, and it's real flexible. You can make a team where you could have different. You could have a light side user with a dark side person on the same team. You can play it how you want, but there's certain rules for the points that are allowed, and it's all gone through in the rule book pretty well. Those are the different setups for the objectives that comes with it.
So objectives, looks like there's 3 levels of them, because they're labeled 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then these must be representing these units.
So how the game works, as far as who you choose to activate, you would have your team of these cards set up, and you shuffle it and you draw, and that's who you're going to activate. And there's a way to get another one out there, but you don't get too much of a choice, but there are some choices to who you get to activate on the turn. So it can be pretty interesting.
And these look like cards that have some abilities.
Yeah, those are what they call the stance card. So so that one there would be for Ahsoka Tano, and on the front and the back there's different stances for how she would, you know, use her lightsaber. And the different stances have different kind of different loadouts for how they do their damage and what their abilities are. So they're really flexible on the different things that they can do. It's pretty neat.
Sounds like it just ups the level of strategy you can use in the game on how you.
Yeah, because you could start the game really defensive, and then all of a sudden, just, you know, you flip your stance and change your stance, and then become very aggressive. So I think that's going to add a whole nother layer to it. It's going to be really neat.
And these both have two sides. So like Maul's here says sinister cunning on one side and dark rage on the other.
Yeah, it's the little tree. When you roll your offensive dice, depending on what you roll, you get to move along down the tree and do different abilities and more damage.
So,
pretty neat.
well, that's everything in the box.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
We could do a slow, long 12-hour video putting it all together, but I think we'll save you that for now and show you the completed product when it's done.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me in this unboxing.
Absolutely, it was great.